Hey, you guys, it's Lula. So I was just thinking about everything, and I realized, honestly, my full-time job is working on myself right now. Like, it's almost as if it's not even about being self-obsessed. It's like now that I understand that we are one and we've just like broken off into these like billions of like different identities and fractions of ourself, that we are one entity. Um, it's it's almost impossible and impenetrable for me to just go on in this world that I'm in. And I realized, talking to so many healers, watching so many other healers, I'm realizing how fast everyone's waking up, and it's lessening the job for us. We are still out there. Clearly, I'm talking to you guys. If I touch one person with my videos or with my Instagram posts or whatever, if I'm helping one person, even just one person comes into their knowing, then I did my job. But now I'm realizing as a collective, we're bringing each other together to really understand what the awakening is and what it means. And there are parts of us that don't want to wake up. And there are parts of us that want to live in this society that has been fabricated for us. Um, and some of us have come back from the collective consciousness, from source, back down here. Well, not down here, but in this world, dimension, planet, universe, whatever you want to call it. Everybody has different languaging around it. But we collectively came here to co-create this impact of the awakening and to aid each other in the process. So, I'm going through so many changes right now, and it's interesting how certain things are pulling me back, and it's forcing me to look at things a different way, forcing me to really, really look at my life, the people that have been in it, that are in it, that we have co-created this existence together, these relationships, these family, friends, whatever. Um, it's a knowing now that I have, that I still realize there's so much more. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I'm like really scratching the surface of it. But now that I'm at the surface of it, now that I'm at the precipice of it, I've been saying this to many people for the last few years. I'm like, something major is coming. I'm like, something really fucking big is coming. And because I was in an ominous nature myself, still going through my own turmoil of my past and recognition of the roles I've played in different lifetimes, in this world, um, different incarnations, really like hard, like understanding things and having this affinity for things, and being curious about certain things. So there really isn't one above us, below us. Even though Jesus has an identity and I work with him, and Archangel Michael has an identity and I call on him to protect me. Even though I call on all these different parts of source to work with, to protect me, to guide me, to look after me, whatever. Even though that's happening, I also have come to this point where clearly being human is painful and beautiful. And, if somebody cuts me, I will bleed, it'll hurt, and it'll hurt, continue to hurt till it heals, because that's something that we have put into our consciousness, that that's what happens to a human body. Um, but reading about all these different yogis and different, whatever you want to call them, shamans, healers, enlightened ones, monks, um, as they have progressed in their, showing us that they can levitate, showing like really like showing us that magic exists, showing us that these things are real, then it's hard as a co-created consciousness to take any of it too seriously. And because I love so much, and my empathic heart, like I definitely come from the heart chakra. Like if the consciousness itself was built up of chakras, I feel like then I am a heart-centered, heart chakra part of the consciousness, because I feel so deeply for everyone. I mean, anyone who's ever watched a movie with me, I mean, if somebody gets stabbed, I will literally instantly go like, or I'll be like, ow, and it's, you know, and I remember growing up, my sister would be like, it's not happening to you, stop it. And I was like, and I kept trying to hide that, because I was like, yeah, I guess I'm a fucking freak. Like but I knew, like, I would feel things, or people would see me, they would see me react, or like when I was interacting with ghosts, or when I've been attacked by demons. I was trying to talk to my mom about that. And I said, Mom, you know, I'm like, I'm telling you, these things happen to me. And I could tell that she still kind of didn't totally believe it. And I think it's so interesting to me that, and not just my mom, but just everybody, as you know, in a collective consciousness, in that state of consciousness, that will believe in, like, will believe that it happened, things happened to Jesus, or will believe that this or that happened in the Bible. But like, you're telling someone that knows you, like knows you, that something happened to you, and they're still kind of like not 100% believing you. That's hard. That's a rough road, man. Like for me, like that's been like a, and so I'm realizing now more that I'm understanding the co-created consciousness, and that as much as I have that loving, kind openness about me, I also can, as an empath, can dig deep down into the darkness, into the muck. And I can go there with people, and I can be present with people in the muck, because I just can, and I can feel it as much as I believe I can feel what they're feeling, if that makes sense. Like, or they'll describe it to me, and I'll say, yes, that's how I feel as well. But of course, each one of us are going to have a different feeling of what it actually is, you know. My mama used to always say, don't pray for patience, because God will show you what patience means. Well, I feel like that right now. I feel like I've asked Spirit to like show me, like there's been so many ugly things with so many people I love. And I hope if you watch this, if you're someone who, we don't talk anymore, but we did have a close relationship at one point, I hope you understand that I am protecting you just as much as I am protecting me by not talking to you right now. It is because I am evolving and changing and evolving and changing. And, you know, I don't want people in my life near me to deal with this psychic debris, because it's so big and it's so overwhelming. And I realized, I'm like, I am literally working on myself every moment, from the time my eyes open and to the time they close. I am constantly working on myself, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to help all those who come to me for help. Because there are days where people will come to me and the most sad, tearful, they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, you know, and I'm like, I want to help you, I want to fix you, I want to make it better for you, and give you a hug, and just send you on your way in a happy bubble. But I also know that what's happening right now, and I'm like, look at Creature. That's me. Like, that's why I love Creature. Do you see how Creature is? He's like, yay! And you know, because that's how I feel, and that's what I want to do. I want to help as much as I can. But I'm also realizing that each of us are going through it so differently, and I am witnessing horrible things come out of really loving, beautiful people. And I'm just like, whoa, I just gotta step the fuck back, let them do what they need to do. Don't judge it. Just back up, just back off. And, you know, I had an experience recently with someone where I was trying very hard to not take the high road so much, but just like, I didn't want to, I just didn't want to push the situation. That I needed to diffuse the situation, basically, because I realized that what had happened was not what I had intended. And I was trying to do it one way and be respectful, but it came across another way. And I was like, motherfucker, because somebody's going to take something from you and the mindset that they're in, but also in their feelings around the situation. And some of it may be directed towards you. Some of it is just directed towards the situation. Either way. Our perception is so personal and it's so individual. So I'm working my best right now to really diffuse certain situations. And because my heart chakra is so big and because I love so much and so deeply, I can't help but get hurt. I'm trying not to take it personally. I mean, let's put it this way. I'm not taking it personally. My ego is sad because it's like, wow, this is really happening with this person, or I'm really never going to talk to that person again. Wow, that's sad. But at the same time, I'm holding on to memories of a situation that I had with these individuals at different times in my life. And I'm not that person anymore. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I posted a picture the other day of Kelly the Red. And, that was like, talk about perspective. And I didn't even expect that. I actually turned on my phone and it was one of those things from my Google that said, oh, this was you 4 years ago or something. And I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, holy shit, and then you're just like, wow, look how much has changed in 4 years. And to me, that seems like a lifetime ago, but 4 years goes by like that now. And so I'm like, wow. And I'm both proud of that moment, but also it's a little disconcerting, because then you start to realize like that's that's still a part of you, but that part of you, doesn't drive the bus anymore, so to speak. So again, I don't know if I'm really saying much of anything, but I feel like the more I am working on myself, I feel this obligation of some kind to share these moments with you so that one, you realize you're not alone, and two, you realize like this is my perception around it. This is how I feel around it. This, if it resonates with you, that's great. If it doesn't, maybe the conversation will at least open your mind to a different place that you need to go to figure out what your part is in the consciousness and why you are here, and what you brought with you from your other lifetimes to sort out and learn from. Because, I said to Ed the other day, I go, I feel so blessed. I'm like, seriously, I know so many people like all over the world where I literally know I can call them and go stay with them or go, hang out with them or whatever. But at the same time, I've also made friends or have had friends over my lifetime that I do not connect with anymore. And we are in completely different places in our lives. And I have been having a really hard time letting certain people go or letting certain relationships either dim for a bit, or I know it needs to be completely over in this lifetime. And it's been really difficult and it's been challenging and hurtful. But again, I know that's my ego, and that's I'm trying to hold on to another part of me that doesn't serve me right now. And so that's been a really interesting component of my healing process. And I got distracted with the male person for a second. And I thought to myself, I just hope and pray that each of us, through each incarnation of our awakening process, can hold these moments with as much love and kindness and non-judgment that we can, because we're all going through it differently. I don't want to get too emotional. We're all going through it differently. It's not better, it's not worse. Like I was saying about Jesus and Michael, like by all intents and purposes, right now in this human world and in the understanding of people, what people have of like, say, Jesus and Michael, for example, for me to say that I am the same as them, or I am, whatever, I know it would be blasphemy to some people. When I used to tell people I'm an angel, I'm like, well, what I realized is, it's like, I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother. Remember that song? Well, it's like, I am a witch. I am an angel. I am human. I'm so multi-dimensional that there's no way to put it into one being even, because we are one being. Does that make sense? It's like we are all one being. So like if you're being mean to somebody or sending ill will to them, you're sending it to yourself. That's what karma means. Karma really means it's like it's like you're setting up a circle of perpetual negativity that is just going to spiral out the rest of us. We're off balance right now because of that, because of that, we're trying to shift the power, back to source, that it's like that we are one, and that how you treat me, how I treat you is how you treat me, and so on. It's not woo woo. It's not, whatever. It's truth. It's truth. Why else? How else would we treat each other? But to treat each other the same way we treat ourselves. And how that other part of us decides to treat us back, there's nothing we can do about that. There's literally nothing we can do about that, but just pray that they find their way back to source and back to us, and realize that we can, I posted something on Instagram the other day where this guy said, we can have it all if we don't need nothing. Something like that. I might be saying it perfectly, but it was something like that. But you get it, right? And it was so cute because, like, it was at an American Idol audition, and Katy Perry, you just see, like, Lionel Richie, Katy Perry, and Luke Bryan, I believe that's his name. They all at the same time kind of were like, and then you just see Katy Perry go, whoa, and you're a Buddha. Like, it was so perfect because he said it in such a loving, like, he meant it. And you can tell it's so fucking true. He was like, you can have it all if you need nothing. If you want nothing, then everything comes to you. If you need nothing, if you don't seek anything, this humble lifestyle, there are days, I'm going to tell you right now, we had trouble with the toilet this morning. We've been having problems with the lights in the kitchen. And there are days where I just want to be like, I'm going to lose my fucking mind, because I'm just like, And then I looked at him and I said, but my mom was just telling me how, like, my stepdad, he planted a bunch of trees and did all these great things for the yard. And then something happened, I think, with their plumbing as well. And she's like, it never ends, right? And so I said to Ed, I'm like, it doesn't matter whether we live in big camper or we had a mansion. Shit breaks. And my mom goes, that's life. And that is, because that's exactly what it is. And for some reason, we have these things to bring us back to center. And maybe even having a broke toilet for 2 minutes, reminds you that, like, wow, I'm lucky that I can even go to the bathroom inside my house. Because, like, right now, the weather's so fucking shitty. It's, like, back to being winter, and it's, like, really cold, and the wind is whipping through the valley. I can feel it coming off of Mount Rainier. Poor Ed, he's had to work outside the last week in really cold, rainy, shitty weather. And I'm like, man, he's my fucking champion. Like, seriously, for real, he's a champion, because I don't know how he does it. But, it's like, it's the little things. It's while we're here and while we're figuring this all out, the best way to do that is to take care of each other, not talk about each other, not run each other down, not compare ourselves to each other or judge what the other person is doing. We just have to do our best every day to just, just be present and step away from it. If it doesn't agree with you, then you step away from it. You just have to step away from it. So I've been stepping away from situations that don't serve me. I've been stepping away from fights that I know at that moment I'm not going to win. And it's not about winning or losing. I just know that it's not worth that person getting that upset and me getting upset and it turning into a heated thing. It's not going to go anywhere unless it's both people are in the present moment of the understanding of the situation, because each person, no matter what the situation is going to have their view and their take on it, each one. So it's like when you come together, if one is saying this and the other is saying this, it's like, and you're repelling each other, it's not going to serve a good or healthy purpose. So do your best to just stay present in the moment and step out of that which no longer serves you. And maybe it'll come back around and maybe it won't. I've had some people that have really turned their shit around and I'm like, wow, But I realize now, like I've been saying on my last few videos, I'm really keeping my time to myself as like close to my heart as possible. Because in the big picture, this is going to shift. Everything is going to change. That is a fact, you guys. It's time. It's because the collective consciousness has decided. And there's more on the bringing it back to center than there is not. It's just we're trying to do it as gently as possible. We don't want wars. We don't want things to blow up. We don't, you know what I mean? There's enough turmoil on the planet as there is. So we're not adding to that. We're just trying to gently bring it back to center. Because that's the best we can do. All right, I've rambled on. I wasn't sure if I was going to, when I came on here, I was just talking. And now I feel like this is supposed to be Soulful Smudge Sunday. So I'm not sure. I'm going to meditate on it. If it's not, then there'll be a Soulful Smudge Sunday tomorrow. And I think I may go live on Instagram with Soulful Smudge Sunday. I'm still, right now, I'm not there because right now I'm still working through my own stuff. And I'm, so there's a purpose there too. Even though I was upset about it, I'm grateful to that too, because it's really given me a lot of time to bring it in. And Ed's been working. And so, my writing was in a really good place. And then I was like, kind of like sidetracked to work on this. And I'm glad because it's something that needed to be worked on for a while. And I feel like it's like the last remnants of something that I'm finally facing and doing my best to work through. Motherfucker. That's all I can say. So as a collective, I love you. I love me. I love the universe. I love Source. We are amazing. Whatever we are, it's just this really cool thing. And anyway, have a blessed day. I'm sure you'll be hearing from me soon. Take care. Oh.